The Saudi government is hosting several leaders and decision makers from Arab and African countries during the Saudi Arab African Economic Conference, which has kicked off in Riyadh. The conference aims to consolidate Saudi Arab and African partnerships in several economic and investment aspects. Some of the areas being explored include food security, partnerships in agriculture, industry and mining, as well as new alliances between African and Saudi entities. Well, let's cross over to CGTN's Adel Mahroui. He's in Riyadh and he's bringing us more with the very latest here. Adel, we have a few hours into the conference now. Give us an update of what has happened so far.
So energy security and how to supply Africa's desperate needs and energy poverty in general has been one of the key factors that Saudi officials have been focusing on. That, as well as how the Saudi kingdom is going to invest billions of dollars in the continent to also support the continent's food security. So in general, the approach from the Saudis so far appear to be approaching Africa in a partnership scheme that does not only want to focus on extracting raw material from Africa, but rather on how to manage, boost Africa's capability from a primary economy into a secondary economy and have added value over its products, along with Saudi investments and partnerships as well.
Well, Adel, you know Saudi Arabia was expected to sign some deals with African countries. Has this happened? And what are the amounts that we are talking about? And where are the funds being channeled?
Well, throughout the day, we have seen numerous numbers of MEUs, agreements being signed between the Saudis and many African countries, the majority of which for the morning section of this conference was dedicated to energy field. Renewable and oil and gas, especially with countries like Nigeria, for example. Beside that, as the talks moved into discussing food security, we are seeing other agreements being signed in that field. So basically the conference is divided into topics, and with every topic being discussed in a round table or a panel discussion, there is an intermission between the topics, with Saudi government signing with African countries agreements in that field as well. So we started with energy, moved to food, and there also are other agreements that have been signed in terms of industrial cooperation, mining and geographical scanning and mineral exploration in Africa.
Well, Adel, you talk about the energy deals being signed with Nigeria, and among the presidents that are expected at the summit include Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu. Is he there already, and who are the other top dignitaries present from Africa?
Well, yes, according to the Saudi Arabian news agency, President of Nigeria has arrived and has been welcomed by the Prince of Riyadh, the Governor of Riyadh, who is part of the royal family. And beside Nigeria, the heads of states from Gambia, from Malawi, and other countries are starting to come one at a time. So far, 5 African leaders have arrived, and the number of African and Arab leaders coming throughout the days are expected, especially that starting tomorrow, Friday, a summit is scheduled, a Saudi-African summit is scheduled to take place, followed by an Arab emergency summit to discuss the Palestinian crisis, so Arab leaders will be joining. And after that, an OIC summit, the Organization of Islamic Conference or Cooperation. That's a pool of countries that have 56 members of countries that are mainly Islamic countries, and this is a wide range of countries from Asia to Africa. So we are expected to see more heads of states coming and more bigger representation from Africa coming to Riyadh as the country hosts a series of summits that is focusing on development, peace and economic cooperation.
Adel Mahroui in Riyadh, thank you.